Previously on Owl, the return to Grace. Oh, it's at 140,000 views now. Oh, wait. Oh my god, did I do it? Yes!
I have just surpassed 1 quadrillion viewers.
Don't disconnect me! No!
I had a tongue before I had a young little bitch had to flip that ball.
What is up, my slinging sandwiches? What is up, my owlementalists, owl enjoyers, and owl lovers, and owls are adorable. Wow, Owl has made 3 Grace videos in a row. Wow, he is out of ideas. Well, no, I am not out of ideas, actually. I just am out of ideas for other games to play. But this video should be the last Grace video for a very long time. And while no, I do not have 20 crowns, I feel like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 13 crowns, that should be good enough, right? We can round that up to 20. This video was originally supposed to be, oh yeah, I broke every single Grace world record. But what ended up actually happening was I focused mainly on one single Grace world record, the Modifiers record. And no, not Modifiers the intended way, Modifiers the this way. Basically what I did in this video was I preloaded a bunch of modifiers and then tried to see how high I could go. And what ended up happening, I went on the most insane journey ever to break that record. But first we have to talk about what happened whenever doing modifiers the intended way. But oh, Owl, what does it mean to do modifiers the intended way? Oh, well, I'm glad you asked, dear viewer. Basically, the modifiers the intended way are trying to see how high of a modifier combination you can beat by adding one modifier at every safe room. So essentially, playing it through here. The mechanics of the modifier mode is that players can choose certain modifiers in every safe room. At each safe room, only one can be chosen. The modifiers can change pre-existing things in the game or add completely new content on top of it. These add-ons make the game harder, and thus you'll be rewarded more XP at every safe room for each modifier you add. So now with that out of the way, let's talk about the first Grace video I made. Whoa, too far. There, perfect. In this video, I opted to play for modifiers the intended way, where I struggled beating a measly 200%. But once I did, I had realized that this wasn't even that hard. I needed to go further than this. And that's when the events of my next video happened, where I went out on a goal to beat 250%. This was a challenge that had some real difficulty to it. I found out that once I had a decent setup that I knew I could play on, then I would get way further than I would without that sort of planning. And because of that, I found myself getting quite far into beating 250%. However, I just couldn't do it until this happened. I lost at 240%. But I kid you not, on the same attempt, I made it to 250%. What am I taking, litany or extra? This is it. If I beat this, then everything that I've been working for the last several days is finally over. And I've done it. Oh my god, I'm shaking. Oh my god. Oh my god. Yes. There we go. It's crazy! That is crazy! Oh my god! What am I doing? What am I doing? What am I doing? What am I doing? Well, okay, yeah, we'll make Carnation even faster. Why not? What? What am I doing? What am I doing? What am I doing? How? How am I all of a sudden? Why don't I make Carnation even faster? If I beat this, no shot, right? Yo! What am I doing? What am I doing with my life? Am I all of a sudden just fucking cracked? Oh no! I beat 281%. And after this is where I died and ended off that video. My record was 281%, which was great. I had far surpassed the goal and 300% seemed closer than we thought, right? Right? I had spent 2 weeks pushing for 300% with no luck until on one fateful day, I had beaten all the way up to 285%. The last modifier I was going to add was simply just extra, which brought my total to 300%. My old record was broken. I was one safe room away from meeting victory, beating my one final goal that I was desperate for, while listening to copyrighted music. I know I should have thought about the fact that this moment was gonna go into a video, but it's whatever, because when I started the timer for this safe room, this happened. Fuck! I'm such an idiot! I knew I was gonna die. I don't know why I did that. I knew I was gonna die. I don't know why I did that. I died to Slugfish in just 7 seconds. It was embarrassing. The worst part about this is that it was completely avoidable. I could have waited for Slugfish to pass and then go underneath to avoid sorrow, but I didn't for some reason. After this, I pretty much just gave up on modifiers for a few days, until I got recommended a video of someone beating 350% modifiers up to Safe Room 5. And after taking some time to think about it, I thought that maybe I could beat that. But he was playing modifiers differently. He was preloading modifiers through a custom lobby. The way that it works is that instead of selecting all of your modifiers in every safe room, you can just add whatever ones you want, and then you'll get all of those modifiers from the very beginning of the game. The goal of this way of playing is simple. How high of a modifier combo can you reach Safe Room 5 with? Why Safe Room 5? Because any percent speedruns end once you enter Safe Room 5. And suddenly, with a bit of motivation, I got straight to work on beating modifier records in a different category. This category I will call Preloaded, and the intended way, we'll just call that Normal. So now we have these two categories, Normal and Preloaded. The normal world record is 285%, and the preloaded record is 350%. After putting the normal world record to the side, it was time to flip the game on its head. I needed a setup that I could reliably play on for 5 straight safe rooms, and I found one. It added up to 393%, and it was quite difficult. At first I realized that I bit off way more than I could chew, but then after a few days, I started to get the hang of the setup, and I had some runs make it to Safe Room 2 and 3 pretty often. No! No! The one petal less modifier increases Carnation's speed, and you can add that modifier up to 3 times. In this setup, I did exactly that, and I was too slow to reach the safe spot. In order to combat this, I started to use a strategy called parrying more often, which you could do by holding S and sliding backwards into a wall like this. For some reason this makes you immune to Carnation, and it helped a lot with not having to risk to the next safe spot. And after a few more days of continuing attempts, I did this. In just a few days, I went from struggling and giving up on modifiers to absolutely destroying the modifiers world record in a different category. At this point, I knew that my fate was sealed. I needed to run this category from now on, and of course, ideally, the next goal would be to go for 400%, but I decided that I would go just a little higher. The one main change that I made in the previous setup was that I added one modifier, Resist. This modifier makes Drain spawn, and Drain throws an entire wrench into the strategy that I had before. Something about my 393% setup is that I never had to use my flashlight. The reason for this was so I didn't die to any of the Cuckoo or Pipe Bomb modifiers, which will literally all kill you if you hold items for too long or at the wrong time. So the reason why Drain is so bad is because the only way to counter him is by flashing him with the light. Adding that one modifier brought my total to 405%, and in just one day, I shattered all expectations.
And that's it! That's it! I did it! Oh! Yes! Yeah!
See, all of these runs I uploaded to my second channel. I bet you didn't even know I had a second channel, but if you really can't get enough of my content, then I post a bunch of random bullshit there for you to go check out. I just rebranded it to fit in a lot more alongside the main channel, and I plan on posting a bunch of random stuff there more often, so please go check it out. Anyways, after I uploaded the 405% to the second channel, it started going viral. Like, stupidly viral. Before this video, my most viewed video on that channel had like 800 views, but this soared to over 30,000 in mere days. Probably because I went out of the way to make a decent thumbnail for it. But then I got tons of comments that all seriously encouraged me to go even higher. Some of these comments mentioned how this high level of Grace gameplay was comparable to some of the challenges on the FNAF Max mode list, which I highly doubt because some of those challenges are way harder and scarier than my Grace run.
Touch me. Touch me.
But one person mentioned a strategy that was going to change everything. Now there's no real name for it, but I decided that for this video, I'm going to give it a name. This isn't the first time I've given something a name. But this time, this name is going to be cool, and everyone is going to like it. This strategy that was brought up to me in the comments, I like to call the No Joey glitch. Basically how it works is that it abuses the fact that you need to have a space in your inventory for Joey to spawn. So I abused the papers at the start of rounds so that Joey wouldn't have enough space to spawn, which allowed me to max out all of Joey's modifiers with little to no consequence. On top of this, I learned how to combat even more enemies than before, like Doppel and Rue, two of some of the most persistent and brutal enemies in the game. They also forced me to use my flashlight more often, which gives the already immense amount of cuckoos on my screen from Cheeseware more opportunities to kill me. Even though it took me about a week to beat this, the finished product ended up being some of the most insane Grace gameplay ever recorded. One more safe room! One more safe room and it's over! What? Safe spot? It's over! That run was done on September 2nd, 2025. After this run, I took a major break from Grace for over a month. During this break, I focused on college and other games that had cool things going on with it. But at the end of October, I finally had the courage to come back to Grace, only to realize that my #1 spot had been completely steamrolled. This is HK. He is a small creator that I highly recommend you subscribe to. He is one of the best Grace players I had ever seen. First, he beat 449%, then 468%, 490%, and finally 500%. In less than 2 months, all of my work got completely destroyed by one of the most talented players I had ever seen. So, on the day I first came back to Grace, I spent around 3 or so hours just practicing. I beat 417%, which was just the same as 444%, but I made a lot of the entities easier. And on the following day, I added 3 modifiers to the 444%, that brought the total to 470. Punctual, water drop, and extra. Water drop adds some difficult to navigate water areas with some strange controls, and extra adds 10 extra doors to every safe room. This all adds up to 470%, and in just a few days of attempting, I was already seeing some significant results, reaching safe room 2 and even 3 a few times. Nice, dude. Okay. No! Okay, that's good, that's good, that's good, that's good. I made progress, I made progress. Bro, what the fuck is that, dude? But suddenly, I found myself all the way at safe room 4. Just one more safe room, and it was over.
Come on, one more. Fuck! It's fine. It's fine. We made it to safe room 4, baby! Let's go!
I wouldn't find myself back at safe room 4 again until 3 days later, where I was nervous out of my mind. Most people don't realize how terrifying being in uncharted territory is. The best way I can put it is that there's never been anyone here before you. You are the first person in the world to ever be in this position. And in my case, only one person before me has been here, HK. I want to catch up to him and cement the both of us as legends in Grace history. It's weird to be someone's inspiration, but at least I have some competition. And what fun is the game if there's no one to beat? Oh my god. Yes! Oh my fucking god, yes! Yes! Oh my god, I was shaking so bad. Oh my god, I was shaking so bad. After this run, I felt I was ready to challenge the world record, 500%. But with what modifiers? Well, I had this planned. I practiced and created a setup that I knew I could beat, 511%. This was so unbelievably hard that after 4 days of trying, I didn't even make it to Safe Room 3 any more than a couple of times. But somehow, someway, I hit a flow state. As I was playing, thoughts filled my head. This might be my only chance to break the record for weeks or even months. I made it to Safe Room 4, and I started shaking. Is this it? I am merely human. I make mistakes. I gave up for good. And what was to become after my time had passed can only be described as a miracle. HK carried my legacy far beyond what we thought possible. Yes, this is real Grace footage. He added a modifier that covers the screen even further. The run that you see before you was completed 1 day after my fail. This run was one of the greatest runs in Grace history. Getting to know and inspire HK throughout these last few months and watch him improve to become one of the greatest Grace players ever has been an honor. I know I'm hyping this run up a lot, and it's for a good reason. I never told you how high the modifier percentage was that he's playing on. He reached Safe Room 5 with 520%. But that wasn't all. To fully solidify himself as one of the best, he kept on going. That is how I inspired one of the greatest Grace players of all time. After reaching Safe Room 11 with 520%, he would break the Safe Room 5 record an additional 2 times, reaching Safe Room 8 with 533% and Safe Room 7 with 550%. I will probably never break this world record again, but I'm glad that I had it at one point. I can now lift up the arm of a true winner, knowing I was the reason he came this far. And as always, I'm Owl, stay awesome.
Signing out.
Motherfucker.